is a great day because it's going to be the first brew after the release of the legendary C4 PTR. Something that some members of this community genuinely never believed that they would see after so much time. But
I don't know why they thought that, to be honest.
yeah. People are easy to lose confidence. But we managed it. We got there, and now we have something to talk about. We actually have a lot to talk about. The C4 PTR is enormous. You know this better than most, as you have been trying and reading all the reports, right? And they have been busy, right, John? They have been putting you to work over there.
Yeah. Yes, they have.
You and your army of agents, they have been working around the clock to fix everything.
We just fix things all day long here. Yeah.
And today we are going to talk about this.
I do feel like the end is in sight, though. We're almost ready to start adding new stuff.
You can see the light?
You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, for sure.
That's good. So today we are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about the C4 PTR. We are going to talk about the feedback you guys have been providing, the tutorials that Jindo, the legend, has been pushing to help everyone understand what is going on. Jindo is more hopeless than you, John. See his comment in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
We are. Everyone has been working hard. And the good news is that the fixes, they are coming. They are coming one after another. Jindo is saying you are ghosting him, John. Come on, John. We're Jindo, man.
5% response rate.
He's gone.
I'm here. I'm actually reading.
He's reading bugs to fix right now.
I'm reading bug reports to fix right now. Yeah.
He's reading mid-brew. John, don't do that, Joe. Stay with us because we need you. We need you to share your insights, to tell people how to best provide feedback.
What I asked for was like an overview of where things are at and some talking points, and what it gave me was, you haven't fixed this bug yet. This is a critical issue. I'm like, oh, no, okay. Anyway, we're good. We're good.
Claude doesn't treat you like that, right, John? When you ask something, he gives you what you ask, not more work. Come on, Jindo. But yeah, guys, honestly here, internally, we are super happy that we were finally able to release the C4 PTR to our wider community. If you have been in the town hall where we announced the PTR, you guys know that the PTR main focus is to be a collective exercise where everyone in the community, all the players, everyone, you are now officially members of the beta testers of the C4 PTR. And you guys are working hard, providing feedback, helping us improve the product that we are releasing, and this will shine. Like, there is no way, there is no scenario where C4 won't be a success because you guys are devoting a lot of your time, your patience, your love to working on making it good enough. And us, from our side, we won't stop working on this until you guys are satisfied. We are only leaving the PTR ground when we have an actual C4 game. And as always, Star Atlas wins through resilience, through hard work, through testing, and through its fantastic community. Okay, with this introduction, I want to get started on the brew, but before we do that, I have something to share. We have some noteworthy news to share with you all. And the first one here is the DAO work. The DAO is Jesus Christ. The DAO has some announcements. Emperor, my friend, let me know if you want to come up stage, or if you want me to talk about the PIP, or if we have someone from Super Phoenix DAO that wants to talk about their PIP here. I guess I'll be the one discussing the PIP. We have, okay. So, see, Bohemian, I call the PIP authors to stage. I always do. So yes, let's get started. The PIP that's under vote right now is PIP 32, Igniting the Star Atlas Triad Tournament, a Super Phoenix Sports Live event. And they have been here in our brew before, so most of you already know about what this is about. This is a PIP seeking funding from our ecosystem fund for the production and broadcast of the Star Atlas Triad Tournament in June 2026. And this tournament is going to pitch the different teams across all three UE5 game modes: racing, shooting, and siege mode. The funding is to compensate the team working on this project, and is not funding a prize pool. It is a very interesting PIP. This is literally the reason why the ecosystem fund was developed, so that we could have people participating and creating content for Star Atlas, creating cool stuff for our community, to have the funds to do so. The PIP is already passing by a large margin. They have 72% of yes votes, and we are also really close on getting the bar for the expected amount of PvP participating on this PIP. I think Emperor told me that we only needed 5 million more PvP. So yes, we are really close. I guess just John voting now.
Jose, I invited myself to the stage because I have the power now. Sorry, I was in the middle of setting a window.
Let's go, my friend. You have the floor now. Feel free to
Yes,
speak.
thank you. I appreciate you taking that. Yeah, we have, like I said, a brew or two back. We have a threshold for the 2 week. We have 2 milestones of PvP participation, and we're about 5 million short of our first goal of getting people to participate. And so that's why I asked Jose if we could come on and just kind of stir up some interest. We try to, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we try to get a certain amount of PvP at certain thresholds, and we would appreciate people taking up their voting power and at least participating, whether it's a yes, no, or an abstain even. So we greatly appreciate the participation.
Thank you.
And if you guys have questions, there's the thread. When I get off of stage, I'll put the link in the chat, and if you have questions for the authors, definitely feel free to ask them. That is all. I don't want to take your brew. So.
Nah, no worries. You are always welcome here. As any other community member, you guys know that the brew is literally your place. So any of you who want to come up stage, share your thoughts, share your concerns, your feedback, even you can even come and say nice things about the team. We won't hold this against you, We'll be happy if you guys come here. So yeah, no, just kidding, but we really appreciate the community participating in the brew. I really love the idea of us being open with each other, the team, and the community, we are in this together to build the craziest and most exciting game in the history of gaming. So we won't be able to do this alone. We require you guys to participate, as you guys are doing now with the C4 PTR. This is a tendency. You guys will only be more involved in our products, in our development. So make your voice heard. Participate in the DAO, participate in the brews, be a community member, because we love you all and we want to hear from you. With that said, I think, John, that we are ready to start talking about the C4 PTR and everything that you have been working through. I'll just make a very brief summary of how things are playing out. Last week, we released the C4 PTR to our wider community. And you guys have been hard at work. If you have any doubt about this, you can just go to the C4 PTR chat and you see that the guys are rolling pretty much 24/7. We're talking about bugs, talking about feedback, talking about everything they have been doing. And it has been a onslaught, a wave of feedback of cool things that you guys have been sharing with us. And John and his army of agents have been fighting in the front lines, trying to keep everything moving forward. On the other front, we have people like Jindo, we have people like Funkcracker and the others, and many others that have been helping support the flow of things. They are answering questions, they are providing tutorials, they are giving players feedback and orientation on how to play C4 PTR, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, not a little bit, it can be very overwhelming, because right now C4 PTR is like an entire galaxy of content open from the get-go. There is literally no gating, no guidance, nothing. You guys have access to all the raw systems and files that will compose the future of C4. And the reason why we released this to you guys is because we need to test, first of all, those building blocks. We need you guys to have access to all the mechanics, all the features, all the gameplay loops, everything we have built so far, so you guys can come and say, Jose, the fleeting bark button is broken, it's not working. Jose, the claim stake on system 54 is broken. We need you guys to be able to test everything, give us the feedback that we need, and once all the tools are working, once everything is working, then we can get started on gating stuff and introducing features, introducing mechanics, introducing gameplay loops, introducing content that will make the C4 PTR more akin to the experience that you guys will have once C4 is ready. With that said, let's talk about the C4 PTR overall structure, John. And you can take it from here, but just briefly, John, just give everyone in the audience like an overview on how they can provide you with meaningful feedback, where they can take a look to see if the things that they found were already reported, things like that. And then we move on to your actual work on this last week of relentless bug fixing.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm going to actually ask Jindo for the public link to the bug report forum, because the one I have, I think, is just an admin link. So, and I haven't actually gone and seen the user-facing one yet. So maybe he can throw that in there. But for those, I see some people asking like, oh, I'll be a tester. How do I do this? You go to sage.staratlas.com. you start playing the C4 PTR, and when you find an issue, you go to this bug tracker and input your issue, and you put in your screenshots, and then each day, myself and Joseph go in there and we download that report. And I give that to Claude here. And we integrate it with a end-to-end testing system that we built for all of the different user journeys in C4. So that's currently the coverage that I'm giving.
Nice.
The PTR is like full end-to-end coverage on every user journey that's in code. And I'd say we're, I don't know, maybe 75% of the way through it. And I have some stats here.
Nice.
Really quick. So if you do go to the bug report form, there's something like, let me just see here. Let's see how many bugs we have. 125 reports, okay?
Nice.
Of those 125, there's 53 unique issues. Some of them are duplicates in there, and some of them are things that the team has filed, but there's 53 issues that we're tracking. 9 of them are fully resolved, and 2 of them are partially resolved. So we have a 20% closure rate right now. There are 27 additional bugs that are marked as implemented. So those are the ones that you can see on the dashboard. And just in the last couple of days, we've had 9 PRs and 3 new branches in the deployed programs. And so that gives you an idea of what we've been doing for the last week in the first few days of the PTR. So the system here, it's not perfect yet either. Some of the bugs are just that the system isn't fully fleshed out yet. But the idea is we'll have a end-to-end test suite that runs every time new features are built in. And so we have a way to know whether something is broken or not before we push it out. And that was something that was lacking in HoloSim. We didn't have that kind of coverage. We just relied on people reporting bugs, us manually verifying them, fixing them, and sending them back. And so this is a big improvement. Yeah, so that's what I've basically been chained to my desk for the last 7 days. Michael Wagner makes sure that I have water and pellets, fresh water and pellets to eat as many as I want. And no, it's been pretty good. I will say though, like, I'm like dirty water. Yeah, I'm very much focused on this aspect right now. And so what's really cool is to go into the C4 channel and see how far people are getting with the PTR. Taking their claim stakes across the galaxy and planting them and actually like producing resources and stuff. And I'm a little bit jealous because focusing completely on bug fixing means that I can't get in there and actually like play the game. And so I'm very much looking forward to having this test suite fully running, fully comprehensive, so that I can actually get in and start, planting claim stakes and taking over territory with you guys and doing all that. So yeah,
John,
so that's that's what we've been up to. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it was Suro commenting that should we already look on attacking or combat, or we wait until the current things are solved? I believe we are. Some of the features are not live, maybe like combat, etc. What are you mostly focused on right now in terms of bug fixing? Is claim stakes and fleet deployment?
Yeah, that's good. Let me bring it up and I'll tell you exactly what I'm focused on.
Okay.
Here, one sec. So the first half of that is combat ready. I don't think it is. I don't think it's ready for testing. We are like looking at combat as a very like what's the right word? Combat is one of those like really high reward changes that we can make. So I know effort is going into redoing how combat works. So there's that. The current combat system, it's not even on my test suite yet. We tried to run a few end-to-end tests, but getting fleets spawned in using our admin tools is an important part of that, so that I'm not like flying fleets from other ends of the galaxy into the middle of the map to try shooting each other one time. Like, there's a lot of time wasted there. So to get to the combat testing, I want to have the admin tools spawning in the ships and cleaning them up. That'll be sort of an extension of the old Nemesis engine, or the Holosim Nemesis engine. So we're not quite there yet. Hopefully next week. Hopefully sometime next week.
Nice.
And then let me keep talking for a second. I'll grab the list of what we're working on right now. Yeah.
I see. I want to address something that Lerner is saying. Like, for example, he says he's disappointed with how the components recipes work. Like, a T1 is XYZ, a tier 2 is XYZ plus something else, and etc. etc. It surely won't be this way with the full gameplay loops. This is something that will be coming out or will be addressed in a second stage of the C4 PTR development, where we start coupling game design choices together with gameplay loops and the real economy on how things are working out. The recipes are simple now because we want to test the mechanics on each one of the layers of crafting to make sure everything is working in terms of combining different types of components with raw resources, different tiers of components, different families of components. But this will surely be given more love, and there will be an actual design on that front.
Yeah.
That is just one of the elements that requires this design.
Yeah, 100%. That ties into so yes, there's going to be more work done on the recipes. You're looking at the components and you're looking at the processes, but I don't think that the actual recipes themselves have had a whole lot of thought put into them yet. So yes, that is definitely something on our radar. So just to dovetail into the fixes that we did this week, and you'll see why we're not there yet. So these are the big things that we fixed in the last few days. The crafting hab, crafting habs are having an issue with a start crafting operation, and so there was both a program change and a front end change to fix that. Fleet transfers and recovery, recovering claim stakes. That was fixed. There was a number of issues with research nodes on the surface, character modifier stats, loading the wrong trees, mockups that were failing, like falling back to failovers and stuff. Like, that's all been resolved. We did a new welcome screen refresh. There was a lot of CPU overhead that was being used and GPU overhead. Like, we were getting some reports that CPU and GPU were really high, so we did a performance pass. So no more space heaters in your room with you, kind of thing. What else? We did a fleet rendering pass with the Pixie HUD. We confirmed that we had a memory leak in the DOM, and that was fixed and confirmed. And then we had a big list of polish fixes in a number of PRs. So that was what was kind of dealt with this week. A lot to do with crafting, habs with claim stakes, moving those components around, research nodes, and yeah. Let me look here at what is kind of on our radar that is not dealt with yet. Okay, just fire this up. Where is that? Okay, that's not actually working right now. Yeah, anyway, maybe we can come back to that. Let me just swing back over here to chat and see what's been going on here.
John, besides combat, there is any gameplay loop that people should steer away from for now while we are still finishing?
No, I don't think so.
All the
I mean,
other
you can even, you can participate in combat. It's just we haven't gotten around to addressing the issues that were already known there. But yeah, you can try if you want.
John, another thing that I saw earlier today was the preview, let's say, of a solo mode in the C4 PTR.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any information about that?
Solo mode as in like PvE campaign type stuff?
No, let's see if I can find it's probably someone else testing here. Solo training. Sorry, I got it messed here. I don't think it. Yeah, someone posted here in the chat. Jindo posted. I have a leak. If you want to come up stage and leak stuff, Swagner, you are more than invited.
Yeah, leaks are good. Oh, it's an image.
Just an image. Oh, Jesus. So yes, solo training. This is interesting.
Cool.
This horseman.
Very cool. No, I don't have anything to add to the solo training.
Yeah, I was surprised as well. But yeah, more to come then. We'll learn later today, I guess.
Yeah. No, so like I do know on the PvE front, we definitely want to have entities participating in the galaxy, moving resources around and providing targets for people. We've been speaking a little bit about having, how could I say this? Like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I can say and what I can't say here. Yes. So imagine you could run your own Nemesis engine yourself, right? Like, what would you do with that? Like, what if you could fire up? What if you could like control an NPC? Let's just say it like that. What if you could control an NPC? What would you have them do, right, on your behalf? So we're kind of experimenting with that a little bit, and getting that tooling figured out. We have a project internally that we're running, and to some degree, I'm running it with the end-to-end tests, but not fully, where we can use our agents to actually play the game. And I know Michael's talked a bit about this as well, but that's very promising and a pretty cool addition to anybody's toolkit. Would be this idea that you could guide an agent on your behalf or an NPC on your behalf to do something for you, right? So, yeah, definitely playing off of what we were doing in HoloSim with the Nemesis engine, but actually giving it to the player to use as well. So
that would be exciting. Being able to create NPCs for your own empire sounds promising.
Mm-hmm. Future test for bounties. Larinor, who do you want to put a bounty on?
I know people want to put a bounty on Larinor, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's people want to put a bounty on Larinor.
Guys, something that I wanted to ask from the beginning of this brew is I wanted to hear your opinions on the C4 PTR overall. For those of you who have played, how you guys are feeling about it in terms of mechanics, in terms of the experience so far, in terms of features. We really value your feedback, and we really want to know your overall experience testing it. Even though it's not the final version, we are excited to learn how you guys are feeling about it. I see many people typing. That's good. Okay. It's fun. It's a great start. Just need some quality of life things. I love the entire initiative. It's a good start, a bit clunky with all navigating, all the menus. Bugs are hurting. Just need a better tutorial for the new users. That's something important for sure. And what kind of quality of life improvements would be you guys looking forward for, let's say, your first priority in terms of features? We'll talk about the reset learner in just a second. Recipe management, better way to navigate crafting, something to save recipes. I see a pattern here, John. People really want to see more organization, more the lack of info in the UI. I see.
Yeah, I've seen a few people, especially with the really high-end claim stakes, you start building really high-end buildings, and because of where we're at, you don't have the infrastructure set up to maintain that building, to fund it with Atlas, to put fuel in it, and then they run out of fuel and you're evicted in a matter of minutes or whatever. Certainly, that can be dealt with through proper progression, but it does bring up a really good point, which was that has to be well thought out, and you have to be able to sustain those larger operations, right? So, yeah, definitely lots of game design stuff to get through. Yeah,
something that Gaz mentioned here, being able to search for a resource and see where to go to find it, it would be nice. Like, for example, if you search for iron ores, it would highlight in the map all the planets that have iron ores, maybe together with their richness and hardness.
Yeah, and that's certainly a game design decision, but in that situation, I would say yes, as long as you've discovered it yourself, right? I would want people to have to go to these places to discover what's at them first, and then they would have the ability to access them. Otherwise, if you just have access to all that information right off the get-go, then there is no exploration, right? So
what about we have SDU maps that would let you learn the location of those things, and players could sell to each other?
That's a good idea. It's a great idea.
That's cool, right? Because
I'm writing that down, Jose.
That gives some utility to scanning while giving a perk to the miners that they can use.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you consume the SDU and you now have a location of germanium, for example.
Yeah.
In one sector.
I like it. You're hired, Jose.
Can I participate in the game design team of C4?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Nice.
Cool. That's good feedback.
Guys, how about performance? This is something that I saw many people were worried about. So far, how has the C4 treated your GPUs and everything? Interesting. So people are saying that it's all right, or maybe close to what the Sage, it's manageable. People are talking about scanning. Suro said his scanning wasn't working properly. Do you have any insights on this, John? Are the scanning features working?
Hang on one sec. I'll go look and see what the status of that is. Just give me a minute.
No worries. While you search that, I'll keep looking here on the feedback. Arthur, welcome to the stage, my friend.
Well, hey, thanks. I just thought I'd add another voice into it and have just a few comments and then a question. First, Jose, I'm so excited about Ember Coil and what's happening there. Just want to mention that.
Me too.
John, you're a rock star. Really appreciate all the hard work you've been putting into this. And also just wanted to do a shout out to Jindo and the tutorials that he's been working on. Those are super helpful for the whole community, and I know it's been mentioned elsewhere, but I just wanted to say it out loud. Super big shout out to Jindo. The question I have is that Danny mentioned that this doesn't have a first time user experience yet, in a lot of those quality of life issues that we were mentioning earlier. Have any idea when some of those will start to be introduced, or you want to fix the bugs first? Like, kind of looking for just a general roadmap, not with dates or a timeline, but kind of are there stages where you expect to introduce certain elements? If you could talk a little bit about that, that'd be cool.
Very cool, Arthur.
Yeah. So I can speak a little bit to that. So currently, the plan is to triage the bugs of what's there and get most of that stable. So the things that you see now working to a big degree. Then it's to add a refresh to combat. It's to implement a PvE system through the Nemesis Engine or something like it. And there's also an onboarding and tutorial phase. Those are kind of the three big things that are on my radar right now. And I don't have an order for them yet because we're still kind of heavy in the development and bug fixing phase. I do think that once we've nailed those things down, we'll start expanding on the new cultivation claims that were released as part of the PTR, and the functionality for that. And then I think after that's done, we'll start to dig into things like the crafting recipe tuning, and how does that play into progression, and what is my end goal as someone who's new coming into this, like trying to get to the end of that process. Maybe that's ship crafting or something, and then working our way back so that there's meaningful game loops that get you to that end, and that people that want to be scanners can participate in that end goal. People that want to be miners or people that want to have their cultivation claims running can all participate in a meaningful way towards those end goals. But I'm not sure what those are yet, and I'm not sure what the timeline is. I just know that so far we're happy with the way the PTR is going. I'm very happy with how stable things are. I know that there are a lot of bugs, but the new star frame, like we are not seeing any of the Starcom issues that we had in the past so far. There's none of that happening. We're not in a situation where performance is so bad that things aren't working. Like, we have good baseline performance. Our infrastructure is working. The communication layers are working and they're easy to debug. So the landscape is ripe for new features as soon as we're in a stable situation here. So
yeah, I think it's going. Can I also ask? Are you just kind of pushing out updates randomly? Are you going to announce those like you did with Holosim? Like, hey, I'm about to push out something this afternoon, or is it going to make much of a difference as far as gameplay? What's your strategy there?
I am pushing things as soon as they're ready, all day, every day. So I don't know how many releases we've done in the last week. I could probably get an idea. It's close to 20, I think. And so there's been like 5 or 6 really big ones, and there's been 3 big program changes. There's another one going out right now while we're talking. And when you're going at that pace, there's no point in posting, I'm doing this, like every 5 seconds, because it's just changing so quickly. So what I've done is at the beginning of each day, as I clean up from the previous day's work and push its PRs out, I post sort of a summary in Discord. I've done that the last 2 days. I've been doing it internally for the team for the last week, but I've started to push those to Discord, even though they're very like low level techie stuff. It's like, it's something. It's like, hey, these are the things we're working on. The thing that I'm doing that's more community facing is updating the known issues on that bug report page. And I'm just going in there and marking them implemented when they're done. And so if it's on my radar and it's finished and it's part of some PR somewhere, I mark it as implemented. And so at least the people reporting the bugs can go and look at their own status and say, oh, that thing got implemented. And there's a little bit of, There's a little bit of information lost in that I'm not manually verifying every single bug. I'm relying heavily on my my end-to-end test suite to tell me that it's fixed. And I document it all, and I have like screenshots of it before and after and everything, but I'm not in there manually checking everything. Jindo has been covering for me in a huge way on that end. Twice now when we've had big releases, I've said, here's what we changed. Could you double check this for me? And he's been able to do that. So yeah, it's a really, really fast pace. So there's not a whole lot of communication around it. And that will slow down eventually. And then there'll be more regular updates. We'll have a bug tracker in game where you can see these were pushed and this was what was changed. But right now it takes, it would take half a day to get that in there and to come up with a system. And it just could be better spent just actually fixing stuff right now. So, yeah, 4.11. So at the beginning of last week, we were on build 4,811, and we're at build 4,851. So we've had 40 updates since whatever it was last week, right? It's just too many to try and like publish something every time something goes out. So, yep.
That's awesome, John. I see people trying to spread heresy in our Discord chat. Never know. That's not going to happen. All right. That was insightful. Guys, in terms of, we have addressed mostly crafting recipes. I see this being a huge pain point. I don't think we were able to test council ranks too much due to God mode so far. Not sure if anyone tried testing this. But how you guys are feeling about the claim stake mechanics, the cultivation claims, the crafting hub, and the claim stakes? Overall, what is the feedback on this front? How you guys are feeling about them? Lerno says he's liking it. Arthur is just excited to be doing something with them finally. It's super exciting to be colonizing the world. Yeah, and I think the claim stake mechanics will really shine once we close the gates of council rank and you guys start populating the sectors and the regions, and you guys start realizing that there's not enough space for everyone in the galaxy to be in the most prestigious zones of the factions. So I think this gameplay loop will become much more exciting when this kind of mechanic starts triggering the next stages of the C4 PTR. Yeah, we really need the claim stake sales, Larinor. For sure.
Okay, I've got a update on scanning here, if you guys want that.
Oh yes, sure.
Okay, so scanning works end to end. There's two UI issues. The first is that your ship or your fleet will say that it's ready to scan, even if you don't have toolkits or repair kits. And so people can be out there clicking scan as if it's supposed to work, but they don't have toolkits. The second piece is that the cost to run the scan isn't accurate. And so you may think you have enough toolkits to run something, but you're being told you have enough, but when you click it, you don't actually. So there's a situation where you could have toolkits and it's just not enough to execute the scan. But if you've got a ton of toolkits and that's enough to run a scan, scanning should be working. And yeah, so I'm tracking those two issues, and they'll get addressed soon. But yeah, that's the situation with scanning right now.
Interesting. Any other? John. Several people are running out of Atlas. This is an issue that some community members are having.
This is a good problem. We want you guys running out of Atlas because that means that you're going to go buy Atlas. So this is good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad somebody got the joke. No, but this is for a PTR. That's not ideal. We want people to have Atlas. I don't know how we're supposed to give it to you, but maybe we can turn that faucet back on.
We can add buy orders.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Okay. I'll see about adding some buy orders or something. Yeah, what you're really telling me is we need an active economy. We need the economy hooked up, which is fine. So like here's a question. What do you guys think of the fact that there's no galactic market, that everything's a local market right now? How is that sitting with everybody?
Yeah, that's a good question. Only local markets.
Yeah. I like it. It's a lot cleaner for a number of reasons, but I'm just really curious what other people think. Yeah, exactly. Not getting used much. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, when it was God mode and you're dropped a whole bunch of stuff, there isn't much of a reason for the market. So maybe if we took a step back and said, the one thing that the galactic market provides is trading between factions. Like, do you see removing that being an issue, or is everybody good with that? Need more players. Yeah, we do. Yeah. I like it too. Cool. Yeah, no, I think because this is such a big universe, I think the idea that you need to go to a place to buy and sell a specific material is really important, and it makes taking that resource from that rare resource from one place to another, it makes it even more rare at that other place. There isn't this idea of just like beaming resources around. Multi-faction trade. Yeah, so currently I don't know that you could do so. Multi-faction trade at a local market is not even in the program. Like it's not possible at this point. I'm not sure how we would do that. I know we had this idea of licenses that might enable that. I'm just not sure that that's in the local market program, but a future feature. Yeah, as a future feature for sure. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking for the democracy module and other modules overall for star bases. I think they would bring a lot of interesting stuff to the game. Guys, if you have questions about the C4 PTR overall, not necessarily only feedback, but things that you'd like to see implemented, or other features that we could add to the game that you guys would like to see. Yeah, Michael nominated the upcoming features that we have on our horizon right now. Combat V2, Cultivation Claims Loop, Nemesis Engine, and the PTR ZXP tracking. Those are what we are working on right now at this moment. Oh, server reset. That's more of a Michael and Danny question, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have a time frame on a server reset. Just expect that it will get reset at some point. Don't get too attached to these things.
Yeah, I mean, we need to reset because we need to test the council ranks. We need to test many stuff that the current setting doesn't allow us to test. So it will come. Probably after. Yeah, Michael is saying probably 1 or 2 more weeks before ZXP starts. Yeah, for sure. John, what about ship customization in terms of mechanics? Is everything working out on that front? The ship configs and everything?
To be honest, I don't have a lot of oversight on that right now. I will look right now and get back to you and see where it's at. Hang on.
Yeah, don't worry too much about the recipes because they are going to be all reworked and... Oh, the code for today. I have a good code for today. Hang on. I'm dropping it. The code for today is Glory to the Tester. Yeah, it's surely not easy. to craft the components right now. Guys, do you have any of you have any last comments, questions, feedbacks, stuff to share, memes? I'm accepting less requests for this brew. Ah, no way. Michael, you get a timeout. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I've got a quick overview of customization for fleets.
Oh,
the fleet creation works fine. Customization, lots of bugs. Crew side tab is missing. The form fleet inventory rail shows 0 ships until you visit the config bay first. The hull row upgrade button opens the research nodes instead of the ship upgrade dialog. What is this? Hull size gating is not communicated. No capacity readouts during staging. Manual fleet UI loads stale fleets. Customizing those fleets is not working very well, but forming fleets in their bare form is fine. Definitely on our radar. Fleet formation is not something that I have been focusing on, which is why I wasn't really sure about it, but there is quite a bit of test coverage there, and there's 5 open issues. 3 that were already resolved. Missing fleet info cards, that's been fixed. Claim stake central hub stats are now viewable, and cargo quantity input loses focus per keystroke, that's fixed as well. So anyway, lots of stuff in fleet configuration that needs to get fixed.
More work for you, John. Good luck.
More work for me. Yeah.
All right, everyone. With this cursed goat picture that we have in the chat, I think it's time for us to close the brew. Jesus Christ, this is hideous. Okay. Thank you all for attending another epic episode of the Atlas Brew. You guys can come to the next episode. We'll be once more focused on the C4 PTR. Right now, this is the company main focus. So every brew basically will be about us discussing the PTR, improving features, gathering feedback, doing brainstorms and theory crafting with you guys. So come to the brew, be active, because every single line of feedback is appreciated, will be taken into account. We will work hard to provide the best game possible for you guys. And we can only do that if we know what you guys need, what you guys like, what you guys dislike. And this is the place for all of you to provide this feedback. So thank you all. People want a claim stake sale. I think this is important. Yes. Next week we'll probably start showcasing to you guys some, Jesus Christ, it's getting worse, to share with you guys some game design ideas, some new features ideas. Jesus, no, I'll close the brew right now. Thank you all. It was a good event, and we will all next week. Bye bye.
See you guys.